If you're a royal, you gotta have a palace to back up your title, right? Well, Arab royals don't hold back. A Saudi crown prince has now bought the most expensive home in the world. It's time for your royal tour of how Arab billionaires spend their money and the luxurious abodes where they lay their heads at night. And you know that pillowcase is bespoke Egyptian cotton. Let's begin with Prince Al-WALEED bin Talal, a member of the Saudi royal family, as he is the nephew of the late King Abdullah. His net worth is estimated at $19 billion, making him one of the richest people in the world. He's definitely the richest person in Saudi Arabia and one of the wealthiest in the Middle East, so you know his mansion must be incredible. Or should I say palaces, plural. 3 palaces belong to Al-WALEED. 2 are already in existence and a third is in construction. In central Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, he lives in a 250,000 square foot palace known as the Kingdom Palace, featuring 317 rooms furnished with Italian marble, silk oriental carpets, gold-plated faucets, and 250 televisions. The place is valued at $130 million. The palace has personal chefs who boast they can feed 2,000 people within a given hour of notice and work in 4 different kitchens. One for Arab cuisine, one for continental, one for Asian cuisine, and a 5th for desserts. Guests can relax in the lagoon-shaped pool and watch a movie in the 45-seat cinema that's located in the basement. Of course, the road leading to the palace is named after the man himself, Prince Talal Road. The compound features 3 outdoor pools and a large indoor swimming pool. There are several different buildings on the estate, including a mosque. The other palace I had mentioned before is a 500,000 square foot kingdom resort. It features 3 lakes and gardens and is where he typically entertains his guests. It's kind of like his own personal hotel, at least he uses it like one. At this palace, the prince entertains his most important guests, such as his old pal, Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, Bill Gates, parliamentary delegates from around the world, and other VIPs. Kingdom Oasis is still under construction, and it's going to be a 4 million square foot palace. It plans to be a luxury resort that will include a private zoo and a 70,000 square meter lake. Oh, did I mention he bought a castle too? Yep, the castle of Castanito. On the hills of Turin, Italy, the prince bought this house in 2009. And every time he visits Southern Europe, he stays in this artistic house that is situated in a cozy neighborhood in Turin. A house of this size occupies 21,528 square feet of land, which is the equivalent of 173 acres. There are several orchards, vegetable gardens, flower balconies, as well as a vintage greenhouse on the vast property. Al-WALEED owns a floating palace as well in the form of an 85.9 meter yacht called Kingdom 5KR, the 65th largest private yacht in the world, which was originally built for the Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi in 1979. It was even in a Bond movie. In Never Say Never Again, it appears as a yacht owned by James Bond's villain Largo. Donald Trump also owned it once too, but he ran into some well-publicized financial problems in the late 1980s and sold it to the prince. It has a disco, cinema, helipad, pool, guest rooms, and all the other luxuries one can imagine. From the seas to the sky, he also owns several aircraft converted for private use: a Boeing 747, an Airbus 380, and a Hawker Siddeley 125. The Boeing 747 is equipped with a throne, 2 bedrooms, and a dining table with 14 seats. Apparently, each crew member and flight attendant is from a different country. He likes his variety, I suppose. The Airbus comes complete with a Turkish bath, a concert hall, an executive boardroom with holograms, and a garage for his Rolls-Royce. So where does the money come from? Well, he's royalty, but some of his assets include a 95% stake in Kingdom Holding Company, 91% ownership of Rotana Video and Audio-Visual Company, 90% ownership of the Lebanese Broadcasting Corporation, about 6% ownership of Citigroup. Oh, and in 2011, he acquired a $300 million stake in Twitter. Okay, remember I mentioned an Arab prince that bought the world's most expensive home? Well, that prince is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the home is the Chateau Louis XIV. It was purchased for over $300 million. It is based on 17th century French castles, but it was built near Versailles between 2008 and 2011. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is heir to the Saudi throne. If you're lucky enough to get invited, you won't want to miss gawking at the marble statues, a hedged labyrinth set in 57 acres of landscape park, and a gold leaf fountain. Gold is a common theme throughout the lavish palace. The fountains, sound system, lights, and air conditioning are all controlled by his iPhone. The meditation room, or chilling room, of Chateau Louis XIV is one of its most remarkable features. The aquarium features a see-through underwater chamber where sturgeons and koi swim. The 57-acre grounds are also home to a statue of Louis XIV made of costly Carrara marble. The property boasts 10 suites, a 52-foot-high painted dome ceiling in the reception room, a library, and a 3,000-bottle wine cellar, enough to toast his football team, Newcastle. This hotel has an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, a private cinema, a squash court, 2 ballrooms, and a nightclub. The prince isn't one to brag either. When bin Salman bought the Chateau Louis XIV, he wanted no one to know about it, using shell companies in France and Luxembourg. He tried to conceal the purchase. He might want to be incognito, but he definitely isn't afraid to spend. His other extravagant purchases include a $500 million 440-foot super yacht and a $450 million Leonardo da Vinci painting. Off now to the Scottish Highlands to check out Inveronate Lodge, owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al-Maktoum, ruler of Dubai, Prime Minister, and a Vice President of the United Arab Emirates. He bought this estate more than 30 years ago. The 71-year-old sheikh, who has had 6 wives and up to 30 children, and an estimated worth of $18 billion. The estate has a 14-bed manor house and a 16-bed guest house. This luxurious hunting lodge has a swimming pool and gym as well. The mansion by the water has a long history. An 1864 fire destroyed the original Inveronate house, which was rebuilt in 1929. Prince has added a few additions to the Highland home. The massive lodge is undergoing improvements to this day, as the Sheikh plans to build 4 helipads behind the walled garden so he can transport his guests to the remote Highland estate easily. A swimming pool, gym, and leisure facilities are also included in this new modern hunting lodge, located near one of Scotland's most famous landmarks, Doning Castle, and it sits on a 63-acre estate. Every summer, he and his family visit the estate, but locals say he's rarely there. Must be nice. Let's pop over to London now, shall we, and check out the Sheikh Shack of Hamad bin Abdullah Al-THANI. Okay, not quite a shack. This is the Qatari Sheikh who decided to restore this 44,000 square foot townhouse in London, England. Over the decades, many historic London mansions of the British elite have been torn down for newer developments. But because of Hamad, the Dudley House stands today. This is one of the few surviving aristocratic townhouses in London at 100 Park Lane. This is one of Britain's most expensive private residences. The art and antiques in the house are worth millions on their own, but the home has an estimated value of $400 million. As a member of Qatar's royal family, His Highness Sheikh Hamad leads a quiet life compared to other Arab royals, but restoring this home to its former glory was a labor of love. After a 6-year renovation, the 44,000 square foot, 17-bedroom residence, which has an 81-foot picture gallery and a 50-foot ballroom. This home has always been a popular venue for London's elite, including Queen Elizabeth II, who said this place makes Buckingham Palace look rather dull. She may be right. From London to the Tangiers compound in Tangier, Morocco, where King Solomon of Saudi Arabia loves to hang out. Known as the Saudi ruler's favorite hideaway, The expansive complex is surrounded by 1,500 meters of walls, has its own medical facilities, and is equipped with a state-of-the-art restaurant kitchen. This massive oceanfront compound in Tangier is heavily guarded and manned by more than 30 Moroccan royal guards. It has 2 helipads, multiple buildings, and a massive tent that was added to the retreat over the last year. Back to London we go to visit Sheikh MOZAH, as he bought 3 adjacent homes in London for £191 million in 2014. 3 properties of the Qatar royal family have been combined into one mega mansion, 1, 2, and 3 Cornwall Terrace. Qatar's royal family now owns more property in London than the royal family of England due to the addition of this mega mansion. With an approximate value of £313 million, this is one of London's most expensive homes. This enormous mansion was designed by Decimus Burton, the protege of John Nash, architect of Buckingham Palace. The 33,000 square foot mansion has 13 bedrooms, a spa, heated swimming pool, beauty salon, personal butlers and nanny quarters, a children's floor, games room, powder rooms, massage areas, 2 elevators, and a gymnasium. Kitchen seats are heated in the winter, and in the summer, dramatic lighting creates the illusion of a ballroom in the gardens. A cigar room and wine cave are available for all guests, as well as a huge amount of bedrooms to choose from. An iPad controls the lights, while staff members live in separate quarters in the building. This place is massive, but hey, he has 3 wives who have produced more than 20 children, so a big house is in order. He has a fortune of £1.5 billion, so he can afford it. In addition to the heated swimming pool and gym on the lower ground floor, which will be separated by a glass wall in order to create an illusion of space and light, a fireplace made from champagne gold metal and Carrara marble are among the luxurious fittings in the mansion. Bathrooms apparently receive a minimum of 3 air changes per hour, and each room's temperature can be customized. Apparently, for the family, 23 degrees Celsius is the ideal temperature in the living areas, 22 degrees Celsius in the bedrooms, and 25 to 30 degrees Celsius in the pool areas. I keep my home's temp at 18 Celsius all the times. Sure, my girlfriend freezes to death, but do you know the price of energy these days? One place where AC is a must is LA. And one of the most exclusive LA gated communities is Beverly Park. It's home to Prince Turki bin Nazar. But he's trying to sell it for $39.95 million. Around 70 estates surround the prince's compound in the mountains above Beverly Hills. These properties range from 8,000 square feet to 30,000 square feet, and you can guess Prince Turki has the biggest property in the most exclusive neighborhood. They share their neighborhood with Denzel Washington, Eddie Murphy, and Mark Wahlberg, all of whom own properties in the area. Across both properties, there are 49 bathrooms, 14 bedrooms, and 22 bathrooms in the main house. The interior is all marble, gold, and parquet. There is a 4,000 square foot living area in the master suite, and the dining room can seat 35 people. The living room has a fireplace and French doors that lead to the terrace. Views of Beverly Hills and the swimming pool are available from the balconies. There are also smaller guest houses and staff quarters nearby, measuring 3,000 square feet and 14,000 square feet respectively. There are 8 bedrooms and 17 baths in both these properties. This Beverly Hills compound is worth $145 million and is owned by a business entity affiliated with the late Saudi Prince Saud Al-FAISAL. Set on roughly 14 acres, the grounds include more than 35,000 square feet of interior space, which might be combined from multiple structures. Outside, there are 3 tree-lined promenades, a pool, and a tennis court. There's an entryway with a retractable roof and a courtyard. In addition to its interior spaces, the Beverly Hills estate, there are additional guest and staff residence, as well as a dramatic courtyard entrance with a water feature. It has a spectacular private driveway, and up from there, you can see the ocean all the way to Catalina Island. Let's end things in Iran, shall we? In Tehran, a palatial estate nestled against the Alborz Mountains, a place no Iranian would ever dream of visiting at the time, but not anymore. The entrance fee today is a mere $1. On a 27-acre plot, The Nayavaran Palace is a complex of mansions in which one can marvel at the luxuries the Shah enjoyed during his reign as Iran's monarch for nearly 4 decades. The compound dates back to Iran's Qajar dynasty in the 1800s, when the monarchy chose to build a summer palace on the mountainside. As Tehran grew during its oil boom of the 1960s, the Shah's third wife, Queen Farah, had been an architecture student. She spent millions of dollars renovating the compound's palaces. One of the wings of the palace became a private art gallery of pieces she purchased around the world. The Royal Library Museum is also another sight to see. The interior design with the modern architecture of the time is unique. They use this place not only as a library, entertain guests, and display artwork such as paintings, furniture, and sculptures. Finally, you're going to want to check out the green space of the complex. You can visit the Inscription Garden Museum. Also, Darband and Darakeh are great natural attractions near the complex. If you're planning to visit Iran in the winter, you can also do some skiing and other winter activities. The Shah was known to walk around the grounds or speed along the roads in one of his many sports cars. A pilot as well, he'd fly helicopters in and out, staying off the streets as tensions rose. All the spending and long circulating rumors of embezzlement surrounding the Pahlavi dynasty helped fuel anger against the monarchy. In 1979, the pressure became unbearable for the Shah, and he fled the palace for the last time by helicopter. So now the complex is open to visitors today, so they can walk the halls of the Shah's former residence and even see the clothes and items he left behind. The dress uniform of the Shah, complete with a ceremonial sword sheath, stands on a headless mannequin in one room. The Shah and his queen are also depicted in 2 paintings. Among the cars, housed in another building in the complex, are 3 Rolls-Royces, 5 Mercedes-Benz, 6 motorcycles, and even a snowmobile. Prince Ali Reza's study room was also left behind, complete with an electric piano, stuffed kangaroos, a picture of naval warships taped to the walls. And this is one Iranian royal home that you can feel free to visit today, and it feels like a time capsule of another era. According to Forbes this year, there are 22 Arab billionaires worldwide. This is good news to the richest because these homes are definitely worthy of our attention. Hopefully more mega mansions will be on the way so we can show you more and more. It's kind of our thing.